Hello, my name is Jonathan Chapey, and this is my Weebly website that has all of my work over the course of the semester. Here is my home page for that website, where I put this Bible verse. I thought it was rather applicable to how I thought about teaching. I believe that God has taught us who He is and His love for us, and as a result, we should go out and teach that love of God and who He is and what He has done for us to the next generation at all points in our life, no matter how old or young we are. Um, It is something that's really important, really the core of teaching, in my opinion. I meant for this website, as you see in the description here, to be an e-portfolio where I can post resources for other teachers as well as myself in the future, and kind of be a benefit to everyone who comes on to this website. Moving on then to the About Me page. This is where I just took a little bit of time to explain who I am, some of my interests, what I plan to be teaching, and why I want to teach. So up here we have that information. And then I went on to talk about what my technology philosophy for education was. And to sum it up really quick, you can read it yourself, but I believe that technology should be used in carefully selected applications. I don't think it should be used all the time just for the sake of using it, because then you start using technology where it doesn't improve the lesson. And that really isn't the purpose of technology. The purpose is so that the lessons are made better and that learning can be better rather than just using it because we have it. So I believe that students should be creating with technology and not just consuming. While consuming does have its purpose, I think that if students are only reading off of a screen and using technology for that purpose, um, then that's not really what effective technology use is. Effective technology use is having them take what they've been learning and doing something with it rather than just being passive about what they've learned. Um, yeah. So some of the other pages I had, the work for the class, that is, I have under this drop-down menu under Education 346. The first tab here is First Year Goals. And here is where I just decided to put a couple of the apps that I want to use when I'm teaching. Sites in VR was a really interesting app that I found. It uses a Google Cardboard headset for virtual reality. You can put any phone in there and it has a whole bunch of three-dimensional maps of different places around the world that you can just look around. And I thought that was really interesting for in religion classes when you talk about places in the Middle East or in the Holy Land, and that way kids can use that and look around and actually see what it looks like to be there, rather than just looking at a two-dimensional picture on Facebook or on Google Images. You can actually look around and see what it looks like in these places. Kahoot, I thought would be a great app to use because it really engages the students in ways that they find fun. Even in college, we've done this, and I've found this to be fun and interesting. And it really is just, depending on how you do the questions and having the students respond, it really is just a lot of fun and a great way to assess students in the classroom. Poll Everywhere is kind of the same idea, except it's really easy to do in the class without really taking all the time needed to try to do Kahoot and then have all the students responding to that. It can be a quick little poll as in the class with a question such as, is everyone understanding? Did everybody get how to do this example? And you can get polls on that. And you can do it anonymously so students wouldn't be too embarrassed to answer, to be like the one or two people saying, I didn't understand this. So it could be very helpful to use in the classroom and something I want to use teaching. Flipgrid was another great example of something that students could use. Um, they can make videos themselves and submit them talking about different things that they've been learning. And I want to try using this as an assessment tool, kind of as an assignment for students to respond and have them explain to me what they've been learning and see if they've gained an understanding of that. Weebly websites are another thing I want to do, especially in high school. This is an age where you can kind of start working with that with the students. And I know I found it to be a great project to do because you're putting everything on there and learning how to organize a website and planning things. And there's so many different things I think that are great to learn here that aren't just the content that you're learning. Um, it just teaches so many other things like I said, like organization and planning and trying to make a project that looks nice and is something that I really appreciated and something in the high school setting that I really want to try doing. And so there are those. My other pages contain a lot of the other work that we did for the class. So under digital assessments, we have examples of a Google form, a Google map that can help incorporate into the use of the Google form, and the use of Plickers. It's kind of like a quiz taking application that you can do online where the students enter a code and they sign in, and it kind of explains it there. But it's a great way to do assessments for students, do quick quizzes and things like that. On the next page, we have digital storytelling, which gave kind of an example of what Adobe Spark can do, making videos with that. So here is in a video that I have, and I have buttons to lead to other examples and to Adobe Spark. And I added a couple different pages to use that for videos that students can create, such as the stop motion video here, and you can look a bit more into that. And that's something students can do to present information, or styles of videos that teachers can make to teach lessons online, which is great for teaching resources for students, such as Screencast-O-Matic or a paper slide video. I also have my digital repository, which had just different access to different resources, such as music to listen to during class, helpful videos to use for class instruction, information about 21st century skills and what that looks like in your classroom, as well as learning about SAMR and the kind of uses of technology and the ways it can be integrated, as well as consumption versus creation, which was one of my teaching philosophies, and a comic strip to kind of go along with that, just a fun little thing to read. The next page is Google Apps for Education. Here I just put any helpful apps such as VR Math for apps that can be used in the classroom that would be helpful for students to use. My personal learning network, you can use, this is my page that leads to my Twitter page for my professional learning network. And if you go click this button, you can go and follow me on Twitter, and if you have anything interesting that you find related to teaching or math or religion, go ahead and share it with me, and I'd love to take a look at it and use it in the classroom if I can. Going on, here are the virtual field trips. This is one in particular that I looked at that I thought would be good for the high school crowd, for students that are interested in math, and just kind of showing cool different things you can do with math, like 3D printing. And it's a rather applicable thing that students can learn about and actually do themselves if they get their own 3D printer. And here's a link to that. And so I thought that'd be rather good to use in a high school setting. And finally, here are my journal reflections throughout the semester. All of them I put them all here, and they each have a nice little image to go with them. So go ahead and read through those if you want. And yeah, thank you very much for taking a look at this website. And I hope that one day it'll be useful to you as well, as a teacher maybe someday, or wherever you may be. Thank you.